How's it going, everyone? It's Gavin from Balls to You. This is the clutch that, if you remember, I had a couple of eggs that were starting to leak and I used the PVA glue. There was an egg here. Unfortunately, that egg did die. As I explained in my last video, I have had a disaster here. So this is the first clutch that is due to hatch. Now, what I'm going to do here, I am going to cut them as I always do. The reason for me cutting them is, some people would say, well, obviously we lost temperature in the incubator for a long period of time, so really we should leave them a few days longer. However, my concern is that if they aren't all good and they are weak, then they may struggle getting out the eggs. So I want to help them, and the fact that I'm going to cut them a few days earlier than what I anticipated isn't going to really hurt them. Again, I don't advise you guys to do this, it's just that I'm doing it for the right reasons. Now, as I said, there was an egg there that did die with the PVA glue. However, this one here has sustained itself and been done really well. Couple of things when you're looking at the eggs, seeing if they're ready, you want to be able to feel the snakes inside, which I can, and obviously you want to be able to be easy enough just to pull them apart, which you can. That just completely just pulls apart nice and easy. So what I'm going to do, I'm fingers crossed, guys, these are all okay. It just pops away like that. So fingers crossed these are all okay. So yeah, let's start, eh? So this was the my calico line, my white siders bred to my jazz pastel line, which I am doing a jazz pastel video on why I name things a particular line and why I do things the way I do it. So hopefully everything will be explained in there. So fingers crossed, I'm just looking for healthy babies, guys. Well, okay, it's alive. Whew, thank God for that, it's alive. Yeah, that just looks like a jazz pastel. The mum is very similar, very high blushing. I won't really be able to tell whether it's got calico in there. I don't think it has, but that just looks like a typical jazz pastel to me. The best thing is it's alive. Okay, that one just looks like a normal. Let's do the PVA glue one, see if it worked. Now, this was that way, so I'm not sure which way to cut it, but we'll have a bash. Sorry, guys. So there we have at least, oh, that's amazing, at least a white cider. Try and turn it around. At least a white cider. Okay. So I'm not talking much on this one, guys, but just really hoping that they're all okay. Here we have another normal. So when you're doing your egg boxes, I get asked this quite a lot. You've got to make sure that the humidity is as high as possible. The eggs obviously rely on heat, which is coming from your incubator, but in the egg box it relies on the humidity factor being quite high. You need that humidity factor really high, guys. So that's either a white cider or a jazz pastel. Seems to be alive. Could be just a pretty normal. There we have, I'm not sure if you can see, again, either a jazz pastel calico or white cider, or just a white cider itself. The good thing is, like I said, so far they all seem to be alive, which is what I'm thankful for. There we have a normal, which again is healthy and doing okay. So, not great odds, but at the end of the day I was just mainly concerned that we were getting a healthy clutch. So it looks like we've got 2 white ciders or 2 pastel calicos, 1 jazz pastel, and by the looks of it I'm going to label them as four normals. Okay guys, well they're all healthy, they're all moving, they're all okay. I'll keep you guys posted. Again, like I said, this was the one, a couple of things, obviously we had a problem with the incubator, but also this was the one that we used the PVA glue for, and as you can see it's still in there, it's still doing great, still moving, which is fantastic. So yeah, there we go guys, not the best odds, but at least they're all okay, that's the main thing. Obviously I've got other clutches in there, which fingers crossed this is going to be the telltale one. Okay guys, this is obviously going to be the cleanup video. I'm overwhelmed with the amount of support I had regarding the electrical issue that we had here at the HQ. Your support has been absolutely phenomenal. I do believe I've got some of the best subscribers in the world. Yeah, thanks for all your kind thoughts, thanks for all your well wishes. This clutch, obviously I was worried about. I'm also worried about the other clutches. They're in the development stages, but this clutch for me was, like I said, just fingers crossed everything was all okay. In the cutting video I was sort of all over the shop. I wasn't too sure what was what, but we're going to do a clean-up video for you guys today, and we're going to look and see exactly if everything is all good and healthy. So far it looks that way. So yeah, let's get these little puppies in. The temperature of the water is a nice 89 degrees Fahrenheit. It's nice and warm for them. They can have a little swim. And I'm going to go through the pairing, and I'm going to go through what I think I've got or haven't got, and I'm going to try and explain some of the genetics as best as possible. So for those who remember, this was the clutch that I had to do the PVA glue on. In fact, switch these off. So this was the clutch I had to do the PVA glue on. One egg didn't make it, as I suspected, but obviously, as you can see, the other one did. So I'm really pleased with the results of the PVA glue trick. So it does work. I have done it before, like I said, but you never know. It's always better to be living on the negative side, just in case it doesn't make it, and at least then you're not going to be too disappointed. So what did we get in the clutch? Well, I'm going to start off with the suspected normals, and then I'm going to move through. This clutch, as they were coming out, really did sort of confuse me a little bit. If I'm honest with you guys, I still don't really know what I've got with some of them. So the pairing for this was a first generation it was first generation, what I've deemed to be white-siders / calico. The dad, as I keep saying, he was a African import. When he came in, he was quite dark. He just looked very calico-ish, and as we've proven, he was a calico. The original father, or the original male, didn't survive. However, his son did sire this clutch. So this was a first generation white-sider / calico to my Jazzline pastel. The Jazzline pastel, I don't know what's going on, if anything at all, but there seems to be something really peculiar. I am going to do a video on the Jazzline just to explain. Now I've got some more, how should we say, possible Jazzline babies in front of us here, so I will go through these, and like I said, I will do a video on the Jazzline itself, just to give you guys an indication of what I think is actually going on. So let's start off with one of the normals. Again, I don't know if the Jazzline is het for anything or whether there's anything going on, but again, I will go through and just show these babies really quick. I'm not going to say what that one looks like, that pattern. So yeah, really pleased with the outcome. Some different looking animals in here for sure. There are a few people in the UK who are in the Jazzline project, so I will be keeping you guys posted on what's what. So here we have a female, really peculiar. Possible that the Jazzline, or the original mom, which is Jasmine, who started the Jazzline, could be het for something, like I said, so we don't know. So it's going to be a case of just trial and error. So there's the one, that's a female. Let's look at this one. Really obscure patterns on the back and the dorsal, and some heavily blushed out on the side. Now again, we do see polymorphic or polygenic traits from the parents, so who knows exactly what is going on, but I will do my best. Like I said, when I do a jazz line pastel video, I'll go through these and I'll start pointing out a few what I deem to think or may think are some possible traits. So that one's a little boy. Okay. Again, really weird patterning on the back. Again, tram lines, which sometimes are a good indication for something. Never always the case, but possibility is there. So this one is a male. So we have two boys, one girl so far. This normal, this is crazy. I'm not sure if the camera's going to pick this up, but this little dude or girl is absolutely so orange. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to get into it in this video, but I'm going to give you guys a video, like I said, in the jazz line, and I'll probably do a wide side video as well, just to explain some of the genetics and where I think various different things are coming from. It's really orange, this guy is really orange. And I've hatched orange babies before when I bred the original dad to my big normal girl, Sugar. She's just an absolute sweetheart. And I popped out orange babies like this. Now I thought originally it was from the mom, from my big normal girl, but could it be coming from the calico line, the white cider line? Really bizarre. So let's have a look at what this one is. So there was no backup male in this clutch. It was just a straightforward, like I said, one male to one female. So that's a female, two females, two males so far. So this couldn't be something like an orange dream or anything else. It's either got to come from this orange coloration, it's either got to come from the dad's side or the mom's side. And like I said, this is a different mom, but the same type of calico line, so I suspect it comes from the calico line itself. I didn't hit crazy odds on this clutch, but like I said, what I did get for me is absolutely awesome. So this is 100% jazz pastel. So this is what the jazz pastel line is. Again, I'm going to feature this animal in a video. All intents and purposes, it looks like super pastel, but it's not. Heavily blushed out down the dorsal, nice blushed out head. Again, I have got a super pastel. So here is a super pastel. Okay, so you can definitely see the difference. So if you look at the head of the super pastel, so okay, sweetheart. Okay, if you look at the head, if you look at the eye stripe, towards the end of the eye stripe, it does start to fade out. So you can actually see there, that is what a super pastel head looks like. And this little guy or girl is completely different. Okay, so that's a super pastel, and this is a jazzline pastel. The super pastels tend to be a bit more faded in colour and stuff, but yeah, again, I'm going to do some videos on super pastel jeans and combos. So again, this little boy or girl, which I'm going to have a look now, is exactly a carbon copy of Mom. I do hatch out from the Jazz Pastel line like orangey coloured pastels and yellowy coloured pastels. So again, really obscure belly pattern. This is a little boy. I have held back from a couple of seasons ago a male from the Jazz Pastel line, which I wanted to put back to the Mom, but he didn't go, so maybe next season. Okay. So let's look at these little gems. Let's start with this one. So yeah, this is going to be a head scratcher. Basically, calico is very similar to the pied jean, the way it works and what it actually does. It's a pattern, it's a colour mutation. Obviously, as far as we know, it's a dominant mutation. I don't know to any super calico at all. This is why, because this is a wild type calico line, I can't really call it a calico because I haven't put it to another calico to make sure they're compatible. Other lines that have been pulled out of Africa and this, that and the other, some have been proven to be dominant, like a granite gene, and some have been proven to be incomplete or co-dominant, which means there's a super form. So at this minute, I've got to sort of give it its own name / calico. I will be doing eventually some calico to calico breeding to see if this line does have a super. I don't think it will, but I've got to do that as part of the research, if you like, into the gene. So again, this is a white cider itself. All the pinks will go white. As you can see, all the melted pattern is just phenomenal. This line of calico, guys, is just absolutely amazing. Beautiful oranges, and again, the oranges will start to come through. I mean, these guys have literally only just come out. So this, I'm 100% certain, is just a white cider calico. Phenomenal. So let's see if it's a boy or a girl. So this is a little boy. I won't be keeping this little boy because I've got quite a few male calico held back from the line, so he will be up for sale. And this little gem I believe to be a Jazz Pastel Calico. Calico and pastel, with calico being very similar to the pied gene, pastel pieds are very hard to tell apart from normal pieds unless you get a real high example one, but they are very difficult to tell apart. Now it's the same in the pastel calicos. I've seen some pastel calicos which look like pastel calicos. That tends to tell me that the calico line isn't that great, because the calico line should be the dominant genetic makeup that should actually try and mask the actual pastel itself. So here this guy should get better with age. Absolutely crazy, or this girl. Again, all the pinks in the alien heads will turn white. It's got some real nice oranges on the back. A little bit of umbilical cord left to take in. But this guy, for me, or girl, not sure yet, is absolutely phenomenal. Let's see if it's a boy or a girl. So this one's a boy. So I'm going to hold this one back for a little bit, watch it grow, watch it change colour, watch it shed, and then we'll see what we'll do. I can't keep everything, I'd like to. So yeah. So far no kinks, everything looks okay in this clutch. Really pleased, absolutely over the moon. Thanks guys again for all your support. You are truly amazing, and I can't thank you all enough. Okay everyone, I will keep you posted with some other clutches coming. The next clutch after this to hatch will be the White Cider line Calico, which is obviously this little one's dad to an Exantic. So we should get 50% Calicos, 50% normals, all 100% het for Exantic. So for those people who have been after some Exantic stuff, the White Cider Exantics I feel should look phenomenal. So there we go. Okay everyone, thanks for all your support guys, hope you're all doing well, take care, and I'll speak to you guys soon.